wanted to record this next little bit here. I just think it would be easier for me to get some ideas out and much less boring for you. Don't want you to have to read through a couple paragraphs of things, I guess, on PowerPoint. So that's why the other section that I sent you is just the portfolio, I guess, with some of the best images that I took. And here I kind of want to explain to you a little bit of the behind the scenes process and just show you a little bit more of why this project took as long as it did, why there was so much time and effort kind of put into it. So the first thing that I want to show you, this is one of the listings that I did on Bill's Island. You can see all these numbers next to these images. This whole shoot in total had 217 pictures. And I think by the end of the day, all said and done, when I turned everything over to go onto the MLS site, I think there were probably around 40. So you think, man, 40 images from 217 that I took seems crazy, right? But a lot of those images are either I call them showcase images, which is kind of what I put in the portfolio. I want to showcase the home. I want to showcase kind of my skills as a photographer and show this home as beautifully as it can be shown. And then the other side of it are just kind of informational pictures. So just kind of pictures that I took of the home that don't really showcase the beauty of it. It's more of just so that way the potential buyer can kind of see, different aspects of the home. So this one, for example, here, I took, a picture. Here's a picture of the bathroom, right? So big deal. It's a bathroom. Or no, it's not a bathroom. This is the laundry room. It just has mirrors and a sink and stuff like that. And this isn't, a showcase worthy image. I mean, I think there's a lot of strong photographic aspects about it, but it's not something that I'd say this is going to showcase the beauty of the home. This is just so that way the buyer can see, okay, that I have a room to take care of laundry instead of kind of just a little corner in the house, right? So that's one of the biggest reasons why there's such a discrepancy between the number of pictures that I took and the amount of images that you're going to see in the portfolio, right? So I think of this specific listing, I only included 15 of the best images, even though there was, like I said, upwards of 30 or 40 that I took of the home itself. So obviously tons of time and processing and everything went into taking the images, even though you're not going to see each and every one of them. The other thing that I wanted to show you is kind of the process that I mentioned during my presentation at the Research and Creative Works Conference was this whole HDR process. So you kind of see, I don't know. Oh, so let's do this living room. So you kind of see this living room here. It's a good image. I was really happy with this one. Liked the way it turned out. But if you kind of look this way, you can see there's it's the same picture, but some of them are just darker, some of them are lighter. And so here's some more of that same one. So yeah, you can see there's kind of just differences. I guess I didn't really do a good job. This probably isn't the best example. This one might be better. So you can see this really bright image, and then it kind of just gets darker as we kind of go down this scale here. And so that way I can kind of account for these really dark areas, these areas that are kind of in shadow. You can still see out the window and see kind of what's happening outside. So when you combine all of these images together, that's when you can kind of see both. You can see outside and you can see inside of the room. So the reason why that takes so long, this one is only 4 images that I took for this specific shot, but I've done more. I've done upwards of 11 or 12 for just one single image. So the reason why this takes, it's such a drawn out process, because I have to highlight these images. I do my keyboard shortcut to pull up this menu here. This is the HDR, I guess, part of the software. Oh, sorry, this is Adobe Lightroom. I don't know if you know what this is. It's kind of similar to Photoshop in the sense of it's just for editing images. This is why this takes forever, because I have to wait for it to create the preview, and then I merge all the images together, and then do a little bit more editing from there. But yeah, that's why I need multiples of the same image. So that's time that I spend at the photo shoot. That's time that I spend here in Lightroom, which is why this process is definitely time consuming. There's a lot that goes into it. The next thing that I want to show you, I guess this is kind of the last thing. So this shoot here, was for, so here's a good example of just an informational shot. It's a bed, right? A hideaway bed and a couch, not really something to showcase the home. But this is a shoot. This was actually the realtor that I was working with. She wants to rent out her property that she's currently living in, and so she actually paid me to go do this shoot of her home. So if you see, this is a much better example of the whole HDR thing. I know I've kind of spent too long on that already. But what this is basically, this image here, I have all of these ones all the way clear over to the edge of the screen. So this one I think is 12 or so. And I stacked all of these together to produce this final image where you can see kind of where this breakfast table is, and then you can see out kind of into the lake, kind of see some of the other homes on the other side. This image was really just to showcase, inside and outside of the home, and this was where that whole HDR thing is difficult because, you can see an image about with the same amount of lighting on the inside, you can't really tell what's happening on the outside. So anyways, that's why that's important. Don't want to spend too much more time talking about that. What I do want to show you though, since you were the one that kind of asked me this question, what other skills that I have to learn in doing this? When I took this image, I kept my tripod as straight as possible, but if you look over here onto this side, you can kind of see these lines, they do end up kind of converging, I guess, how this line looks like it's slanted in towards the edge of the image. That's just something that isn't very professional. You can kind of see on this side too, this whole line here looks like it's slanted over to the left. So the way that I would fix that is in Lightroom you can kind of transform the image, and so I hit the auto, kind of give the software a chance to straighten the image out on its own. But I think now we're just converging the other way, and so I would kind of tweak this just a little bit until I feel like the lines are straight. And so you can kind of see, I guess, a little bit more now how these lines don't really look like they're converging on each other anymore. Oops. Now they look a little bit more perpendicular. And that's the professional, kind of the cleaner look that I want. So kind of a before and after would be, this is kind of where we started. And then that's kind of what the software wanted to do. And then this is how things, this is how things ended. So lines are much straighter. Just kind of I don't know, clients really aren't going to notice that, the realtor's not going to notice, buyers probably wouldn't notice. But as a photographer, we definitely kind of want things to be as straight and even as possible. So there we go. I didn't want to have to try and put all of that in writing and include it in a PowerPoint and kind of force you to read all of that stuff. But I did want to show you that there was tons of time that kind of went into this. Every shoot was hours and hours long, both on site and back here at home, kind of playing around and getting all these edits kind of perfect in the way that I like them. Anyways, thank you so much for listening in, and yeah, this is the second of 3, I guess, parts that I will be sending you for my final project. Thank you so much.